The real-life Disney characters. He's the man behind the Matterhorn.
All that and much more just ahead on Weekend Travel Update. Hello, everybody. We're glad you could join us this weekend. I'm Kim Casey.
And I'm Jim Finnerty. Welcome to Weekend Travel Update. Topping our show today, it is a coast-to-coast celebration and a vacation phenomenon. Over the next couple of weeks, more than 1 million young people will take off for spring break. And for the communities involved, there is a dilemma. Do the dollars outweigh the damage? With or without the water, it is sunshine and sand, bronzed and bikinied bodies that have become the 90s image of spring break. Palm Springs will draw 200,000 young people in the 10 days just before Easter.
We got 2 rooms, 4 in each, and we're just all going to sleep 8 in that room and party in this room.
This annual migration means millions to businesses here, but it also means traffic, trash, and sometimes trouble. Last year, Palm Springs issued more than 2,100 citations. This was the image that first made Fort Lauderdale the spring break capital of America. But this was 1960. By the late 80s, spring break had gone beyond the beach to layouts in Playboy magazine, weekend street parties on MTV, and more trouble than Fort Lauderdale wanted. Tough new laws cut crime and crowds. 5 years ago, 350,000 students came for spring break. Last year, it was less than 15,000.
None of the kids come to Fort Lauderdale anymore. They're like I said, they're all going up north or going south. Nobody's coming here anymore.
Up north means Daytona Beach, a Florida city that will welcome 400,000 students this year alone. Daytona Beach has created a special spring break task force to control traffic, coordinate security, and cut back on underage drinking.
Spring break attracts businesses. It doesn't drive businesses away. Some of the people who are spring break oriented derive up to 50% of their income during this time period.
For Daytona Beach, the payoff is $169 million pumped into the local economy. And there's more. The festival committee believes that students who enjoy themselves now will come back in later years with their families. Of course, a big concern is drinking, and this year again, a national alcohol awareness program called Party Smart will help with designated driver programs and other activities designed to encourage responsible behavior. Yep.
Anyone who's taking a spring or summer vacation should be able to get a great deal on airline tickets because fare wars are going nationwide. We shopped around for you, and here's the latest on the best discounts available right now. American Airlines, Northwest, and Delta were the first to discount flights. Now all major airlines are matching the offer, and here's an example of what you can get. A round-trip ticket from Chicago to Miami will cost you about $238 if you travel by May 19th. The same trip taken between May 19th and September 30th, the new summer fare, is going for about $318. But one airline has the rest beat. If you clipped a one-time-only Continental Airlines coupon from the paper earlier this week, you can get an additional 25% off the lowest fares. There are restrictions. You have to travel on just the right days, and you have to book 7 days in advance. But the airlines are getting aggressive, and it seems a number of regional deals we told you about in recent weeks got these fare wars rolling.
I need your signature right here.
For example, take a look at what happened this week with the $99 each-way offer to Mexico. People jammed phone lines and airport ticket counters. The volume of bookings set all-time records for Mexicana Airlines.
What can I say? It's probably the best thing that has happened to Mexico and to our airline for a long time.
Mexico government tourism officials consider that an understatement. Tourism is the country's second largest industry, and until this week, hotels were less than 1/3 full. It was going to be the worst year for that country's economy since the 1985 earthquake. But now, they're smiling in Mexico.
Well, as a matter of fact, yes, we are very pleased, and not only me, but the hoteliers and the people in the travel industry.
Our experts told us this was going to happen months ago. Now they're telling us we could see even more of this happen in the next few weeks as carriers try to take advantage of the end of the war and the beginning of a better economy. Jim?
Universal Studios in Hollywood is getting ready to unveil its newest edition. Opening March the 22nd is a special attraction starring Lucille Ball. An elaborate heart-shaped facility entitled Lucy A Tribute will honor the Queen of Comedy with a collection of Lucy memorabilia, including a recreation of the I Love Lucy set. Also included in the exhibit is a showing of never-before-seen movies of Lucy, Desi, and the kids. Their reaction at this week's celebrity preview party was very positive.
A different side of my mother that people haven't seen yet. So I think it's a nice tribute to her.
Hey, you know, I got it out of the garage. It's a big plus for me.
Lucy A Tribute is just part of Universal's current $100 million expansion, and for people who grew up in the golden age of television and saw her, or around the world on reruns, of course, this will be a nice addition to the Universal tour.
And people can look forward to an E.T. exhibit opening in June as Universal rebuilds after that big November fire. Coming up next on Weekend Travel Update, these two wonders of the ancient world are making headlines that could affect your travel experience.
And there's no better experience than Paris in the springtime. We'll take you to the most romantic city in the world, just ahead.
New help for premature babies, Monday at 6.
This morning, as guests at the five-star Arizona Biltmore are tempted to breakfast, the fine brewed coffee usually served has been secretly switched to Folgers Crystals. Does it have the fresh brewed taste and aroma these guests expect?
They were just sort of waft me out of bed. It tastes like fresh ground beans.
Would help wake us up, get us going.
It's Folgers Crystals.
Happy John. I would have thought it was brewed. Is the word elegant? Can it be used for coffee?
Mountain-grown Folgers Crystals. Coffee rich enough to be served in America's finest restaurants.
And I'll drink to that.
I don't know. I'm stuck. I can't get out of here. I'll call you back.
When the diagnosis is minor sore throat pain, many doctors recommend Sucrex, medicine for soothing relief. In fact, in the physician's desk reference, it says, maximum strength Sucrex. Active ingredient, diclonine hydrochloride. Action, soothing anesthetic relief. Here's what it means for you.
Now that feels better.
For soothing relief, get Sucrex. Soothing medicine for sore throat pain.
How can you tell the good guys from the other guys? We have the biggest audio selection in the Bay Area. At some stores, if you're lucky, you'll find a few portables, but the good guys has more than 200. 200! And what about car stereo? Most stores don't have much selection, but the good guys has a choice of over 190 components. Consequently, at the good guys, you'll always find what you're looking for. We're the good guys. We gotta be good.
This suit at the Men's Warehouse is $200. This double-breasted, also $200. And tailored, $200. These quality suits are all $200 at the Men's Warehouse. Elsewhere, they'd be closer to $300. All-wool tuxedos, $200. We've got a great selection of quality suits for $200. We guarantee it.
25 stores, including Pleasant Hill, Newark, Santa Clara, San Leandro, Santa Rosa, Salinas, and Redwood City.
People are beginning to travel overseas again. Terrorist warnings have now been lifted. That's good news not only for traveling Americans, but for people in places like Thailand, where tourism was down 30% during the Gulf War. The Thai people still have major problems, as do most people in third world countries. There's poverty and disease. But there is also hope. Weekend Travel Update has found a way that people visiting overseas can make a big difference with little effort. And Mike Sanford explains how.
The Pakred Babies Home, an orphanage in Bangkok, Thailand. Dozens of abandoned, neglected children end up here, some just given up by desperately poor Thai families. American and European couples often come here hoping to endure the difficult process of adopting these children. Others, like Betty Pascoe of Michigan, have a simpler goal: provide the gift of love and affection to kids who spent most of their young lives without it.
I've been playing with Somai now for a couple months. And for me, when I go in the room now, she knows me, and so she'll just crawl right over and put her hands up. It really makes you feel good.
Feeling good about doing some good is what motivates these volunteers. And that's the idea behind the Americans for International Aid, a group made up mostly of airline employees.
If you would mind taking this to Bangkok, we'd really appreciate it.
In Seattle, I met Betty Houston, a retired Northwest Airlines flight attendant, who introduced me to their simple mission: bring along medical supplies, clothes, toys, each time they travel any place in the third world.
There's so many children in the world that are never going to be given a chance. So if we can do something for them, we're doing a good job.
This aid package of donated goods, gathered by the group, was hand-delivered to us at the airport. All we had to do was have it examined and checked as part of our own luggage to Thailand. Once in Bangkok, we delivered our package to the orphanage director. Other supplies go to hospitals and homes in Korea, India, Africa, and Central America. It was a simple errand for us, but one that felt good, providing a link between people who care and people in need. In Bangkok, I'm Mike Sanford for Weekend Travel Update.
Americans for International Aid is always looking for more airline employees, more travelers who are willing to bring those aid packages to foreign countries. If that's you, you can contact them at 404-552-0415, Monday through Friday, and that's during East Coast business hours.
Also overseas, Egypt's pyramids are open again this weekend. The ancient wonders were temporarily closed February 1st because of the possibility of terrorist attacks resulting from the Persian Gulf War. Now, although the pyramid shutdown was brief, it was costly. Government sources say the loss of tourism revenue was around $28 million.
Another ancient wonder of the world is threatened by a different kind of danger. It is the Acropolis in Greece, and unless something is done about it, tourists may be looking at recreations rather than the real thing. The Acropolis is nearly 3,000 years old, but pollution and graffiti are destroying this symbol of Greece's early civilizations. In fact, the problem is so bad that auto emissions and acid rain are turning some monuments to dust. Greek officials are proposing a new plan that would move some of the frescoes, the artworks and carvings, to underground museums and replace them with fiberglass replicas. The plan would also ban thousands of buses and cars from the streets of Athens, while the city creates a large park to link those major monuments. Backers say it has become a matter of survival.
The beauty and romance of Paris in the spring have always drawn tourists from all over the world. But spring is also off-season, and through the end of May, tourists will find discounts of 20 to 25% on airfares and also hotels. As Paul Ryan reports, at any price, the City of Lights is never short on ambiance.
Winter isn't quite over yet, but many of us are already turning our thoughts to spring. Nature reborn, flowers and romance. Combine all that, and you may be thinking of Paris, perhaps the most beautiful city on earth.
The song, Paris, I Love Paris in the springtime, well, it certainly seems to fulfill that.
It met every expectation we had.
First-time visitors will still want to do the traditional things, like taking a $5 two-hour ride down the Seine on board a bateau mouche. Art lovers can spend every waking hour in Paris's museums and probably still never see them all. The magnificent Eiffel Tower, the famous, crowded Champs-Élysées, the vibrant Parisian nightlife, the cathedrals and historic buildings. But I think more than any place else, Paris is a city of secrets, just waiting to be enjoyed. My advice is to take a break from the guided tours. The underground metro and the city buses are both easy ways to see the city for only a few dollars a day, or just grab a map and wander. After all that sightseeing, I found the best way to relax is to seek out any of Paris's 330 parks and gardens. Here's where young lovers while away the hours on shaded streams, while children play and retired folks stroll.
You know, you can come here many times, and still there's so much more to see that you could come here dozens of times, I think, and still make new discoveries every time.
For Weekend Travel Update, I'm Paul Ryan.
Beautiful city, but keep in mind that off-season or not, Paris is expensive. Take that into account when you make your travel plans.
We'll turn to something less pricey and closer to home just ahead. Coming up on Weekend Travel Update, the gritty, vibrant street scene in Los Angeles. It all comes to life in this week's USA Getaway.
And don't pack those skis away yet. From the Sierra, we have news that could save your ski season. Those stories and more, up next.
Today, there's a diet pill that can help you lose weight without caffeine to make you nervous.
All my life, I've been struggling with my weight. With Dexatrim, I finally lost weight, and without being hungry.
No matter what else you've tried, Dexatrim can help you lose weight. Just one works all day, morning through bedtime, to control your appetite and help you lose weight.
Dexatrim did it for me. I lost weight and feel great.
Today's caffeine-free Dexatrim. Nothing works harder to help you lose weight. Nothing.
Getting rid of corns with these could be ineffective and dangerous. But Dr. Scholl's corn removers have been clinically proven safe and effective. Within 5 applications or less, the hard, painful corn will be replaced with new, softer skin. Dr. Scholl's guarantees it. So let Dr. Scholl's get rid of those painful corns without the pain. Dr. Scholl's corn removers. And for painful calluses, use Dr. Scholl's callus removers.
So you want a new car, but you don't want to do this.
I didn't write a check. I just put $20 down and got this great Metro.
Well, now all you need is $20, and you can drive home any new Chevrolet or
That Chevrolet, and I got this for $20 down.
I always wanted a Geostorm. No payments till June? What else do you want? I mean, hey.
See, I told you, no payments till June. Now,
It takes desire and dedication to break out of the mold of an average body. General Nutrition Centers can help you break the mold. With Phase 1, the complete bodybuilding system designed specifically for the beginner and intermediate athlete. If you're serious about bodybuilding, start with Cybergenics Phase 1. GNC, the authority in sports nutrition products.
Welcome back to Weekend Travel Update. What's happening across the country?
Well, let's find out. It's time for your national calendar. In Columbus, Ohio, professional cowboys and cowgirls compete in the Longhorn World Championship Rodeo. 150 head of livestock will roll into Ohio's capital for the event. Bareback bronc riding, steer wrestling, and bull riding are just some of what you'll see March 22nd through the 24th.
And Kauai celebrates the birthday of Prince Kuhio, who was Hawaii's first delegate to Congress. Festivities run from March 22nd to March 30th and include canoe racing, Prince Kuhio commemorative services, and evenings of native Hawaiian dance and music.
The ghost town of Calico, just 2 hours east of Los Angeles, welcomes back the living for the annual Calico Hullabaloo. Tobacco spitting, flapjack racing, and pole climbing are just some of the things you can see and also take part in.
And a trip to Los Angeles usually calls for some stargazing in Hollywood, maybe a movie studio tour, and also a day at Disneyland. But on today's USA Getaway, reporter Ricky Stevenson has found a tour that shows us a new way to see L.A., and it is off the wall, literally.
Los Angeles, California. Call it crowded. Call it smoggy. Call it...
We are the mural capital, there's no doubt about it.
By conservative estimates, there are 1,500 murals scattered throughout the City of Angels.
There's something about being a multi-ethnic city, being very flat and a lot of walls.
Walls that have blossomed into huge, colorful street canvases, mirrors of cultural diversity. Now, what's the best way to see the best? The L.A. Mural Tour, a 4-hour guided bus tour of a dozen masterpiece murals, each a story.
You have Billie Holiday, Dizzy Gillespie, Shelly Manne. It's like a jam session that, you know, was a sort of a dream of the artist.
This graphically is just incredible, and what an idea to put the endangered species up on a wall.
This mural even has a fan club.
I saw it on LA Story the other night, so really appealed to me, and I thought I'd like to see it.
Many murals date back to the 30s. They're being restored and shown off with the newest collection of cityscapes, thanks to a group of multicultural artists headquartered at the Old Venice Jail. And the artists? Well, that might surprise you.
One of the things we do with our mural program is we hire youths to assist the artists. And a lot of the times, they are members of the gangs.
The LA Mural Tours roll from Sparks' Venice Beach office once a month. Reservations required. $20 to see the world's largest outdoor art gallery. For Weekend Travel Update, I'm Ricky Stevenson.
And if you'd like to check out the mural tour, you can do that by making reservations 1 month in advance. That's what Ricky suggests. And there's the number on your screen, area code 213-822-9560.
While we're talking about the Golden State, up until last week, business at most California ski resorts was down, and many resort officials thought their season would soon end. The number of skiers was low, and snow-making machines were largely responsible for what little snow there was. But recent storms have provided resorts in the area with up to 60 inches of new snow. giving California skiers another shot at the slopes. Now, since the recent snowfall, sales of lift tickets at some of the bigger resorts like Squaw Valley have reportedly doubled on the weekends. Ski officials are saying that this is some of the best skiing they've seen since the season began. Now, if you're planning a ski trip there, officials say the best time to go is midweek when the crowds are smaller.
No lift lines, you have the mountain to yourself. And for ski conditions in California, plus other areas around the country, time to take a look at our weekly ski report.
The Ski Report is brought to you by Contact, the long-lasting cold medicine.
Hope you have some fun on the slopes. Well, just ahead on Weekend Travel Update, ever book a room because the ad called it cozy, and then you got there and found something completely different? Coming back, we'll tell you what those ads really mean.
Also, who's the mystery man behind the Matterhorn? You'll meet one of Disney's original characters coming up next.
Now the 6 o'clock report. Washington. We can't work unless you take something for that cold.
I took that.
Not that kind. Take contact.
Here all is
Contact is different.
With 600 tidy time pills, contact is different.
Contact lasts for 12 hours, up to 3 times longer than ordinary cold medicine, so there's a whole day's work in every contact. And now the 11 o'clock report.
There's a whole day's work in every contact.
You know, you get so much more out of cold mornings when you've got energy. That's why I eat grape nuts. And I found a great new way to make it hot. Just pour your grape nut cereal, add milk, and microwave it for 1 minute. You've got this warm, hearty taste that feels so good. And a natural energy source to help keep you going. So, even if it's a cold morning, hot grape nuts helps make it a good one. Try it yourself.
Hot or cold, breakfast with Post Grape Nuts helps keep you going strong all morning long.
The love seat goes here, and my new entertainment center goes over there. As soon as I get my income tax refund.
Why wait for your money? Get it fast with H&R Block's Rapid Refund. We file your federal return electronically, and you get a loan against your anticipated refund in a matter of days. Even the fees can be withheld. Available whether Block prepares your return or not. Unless, of course, you like waiting. Rapid Refund from H&R Block to get your money fast.
Newly arrived for spring. At department stores, now at Ross. The only difference is the price. A soft floral design at fine department stores, now at Ross. The only difference is the price. A jacket and dress ensemble at fine specialty and department stores, now at Ross. The only difference is the price. See the Ross Spring Collection now.
On a lighter note today, tired of confusing jargon used in some of those travel brochures? Well, you'll appreciate that tongue-in-cheek article in the Denver's Rocky Mountain Post. If the ad says your room is rustic, it may mean that the plumbing is outside. Romantic? You'll have to use candles because there's no electricity. Cozy, according to the news, is simply another way of saying that your suitcase probably has more square footage than your room. Casual means you'll make your own bed. And luxurious? It's a nice way of saying that the towels will actually fit around your waist.
There may be no place on Earth with a more famous cast of characters than Disneyland. And if you're traveling to the Magic Kingdom in Anaheim, California, anytime soon, we can tell you there is one character you probably won't meet on Main Street. He wears a funny little hat, works on a mountain, and he comes out only at night. Mike Hegedus has his story.
The Matterhorn, Disney's tribute to a mountain that contains a roller coaster-style ride whipping 8 folks per sled around at 22 miles an hour. The tens of thousands that climb aboard for the 2-minute thrill having no idea they're being watched over by a real Disney character.
Hi-ho!
this on third shift. On third shift, we got 6 people working here on third shift. I am to be the foreman of us, and we're all very proud to work here. This is the big talk of all the rides of the Matterhorn. This is the one that stands out above everybody else.
Jerry Harper. For almost a decade, he has spent every night strolling the almost miles worth of winding tracks through one of the oldest rides in Disneyland. To make the journey with him is to learn about the ride and about the man.
I'm looking for wear and also the belts, the friction wheel. See if how the friction wheel is hitting the tire. This right here is a safety factor. It's an anti-rollback stops. I got my grandson. I let my grandson ride this ride by himself in a sled, you know. And I would not do that if it wasn't safe. It's one of the safest rides in the world.
As the sun comes up and the people come back, the Matterhorn is running, giving out its 2-minute thrills by the thousands once more. And while he's not here, Jerry Harper's sense of satisfaction is.
So satisfaction to me is seeing all those thousands and thousands of people happy.
Jerry Harper, king of the Matterhorn.
They got my tombstone already carved out on the 5th floor up there because they say this is where I'm going to retire and die at right here.
For a Weekend Travel Update, I'm Mike Hegedus.
I love his furry working companion. Next week on Weekend Travel Update, we're going to take you on a real far-out trip. We'll meet a man who says he's found the center of the universe in a small desert town. We'll take you there.
Also, if you get hooked by one of those bargain travel packages, you may get less than what you pay for, and we plan to show you how to keep from getting stung.
All of those stories and more next time. That's our show for this week. For everyone here at Weekend Travel Update, I'm Jim Finnerty.
And I'm Kim Casey. We'll see you next week.
For a printed transcript